Yo, what is going on,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Geckophiles all across the world. My name is Lo. I'm representing the left coast of the Movies Matrix squad. 3,000 miles in the other direction, we have our co-host
Ryan. Yo, what's going on, guys? You guys also know me as Bat Nipples. But before we get into the big topics of today, I just want to do a quick announcement. We put it on our Twitters about a few minutes ago, so it's more recent than anything. But we're giving away let me get them out real quick because it was on my bed. Zack Snyder, the producer or associate producer shirts, one medium, one large, to anyone that's not on the Movies Matrix team. Obviously, that's funny, right? But yeah, so if you guys want to enter, link down below. Right now, you have the option to subscribe because YouTube's terms of service says we can't tell you to subscribe, apparently, even though you don't really have to. But it gives you the reference to subscribe, so you don't have to subscribe to have an entry in the contest. But a subscription would obviously be nice. But if you guys want one of two ways to enter, you can either retweet the tweet that we put out on the pod Twitter, and you can follow the pod Twitter for a total of 2 entries for that. But without a doubt, let's get into it. Go with it.
By the way, my brain's scrambled eggs right now. I just want to welcome everybody who's watching right now. Welcome to the Down the Rabbit Hole podcast. It's the official podcast of the Movies Matrix. Check us out on moviesmatrix.com. We have all the latest movies, TV, gaming news. A lot of great content on there if you have time to check it out. Hi, Shiloh. That's
Hey.
my son. Glad to have him on board today. So what do we got on our plate today, Ryan?
So yeah, there's not too much news going out today, but there's a decent amount of news. That's why it's only one caption in the title. 2020 might as well just be canceled at this point. So if you guys don't know, Warner Brothers just pushed back Wonder Woman 1984. Get this. For 5 minutes, they pushed it back till indefinitely. And then 5 minutes later, they made it a Christmas 2020 release. Now, with that Christmas 2020 release, that's a week after Dune releases. And I'm putting that in air quotes because Warner Brothers is not going to put 2 massive titans next to each other, even pre-pandemic. And now we're in a pandemic. There's no way that's going to float. So one, Wonder Woman's going to be an indefinite hold. And so is Dune, I feel like. They're two big budgeted films that they really don't want to risk the money for. If we've seen anything, Tenet is actually not doing so poorly right now. We just passed the $200 million mark, which is still, I'm actually pretty impressed with that amount of money with everything that's going on right now. But in order to get its money back, it's still nowhere near the money it needs to make. And with Tenet only making $200 million so far, they haven't officially released their numbers yet, which is pissing off a few other big corporations because other big studios need to know whether it's a good time to release their film to make the profit. And another thing that's proven this might not be able to work is Mulan is not doing as good as everyone thought it would. I don't know how much it made in China, but it made a few $1 million. That's all I know. Tenet max, if anything. So, Lo, what do you think about all this going on right now?
So obviously, in the terms of film cinema history, this is unprecedented. We've never had so many markets like your market in New York, my market in California, like not be available to the public, which is obviously millions of people in New York and California that go to the movies. The theaters aren't open. The fact that Tenet made over 200 million, hats off to, they don't really have any competition, but I'm glad that, Christopher Nolan and Tenet is doing well. I can't wait to see it whenever that is. Like you said, Mulan in China made about a hair under 30 mil, which next to their $200 million budget, the fact that they're video on demand on Disney Plus and they're not pulling in as much weight internationally, that they might struggle to get even near 200 million. So that could be a huge flop for Disney. And for Wonder Woman 1984, one of my highly anticipated films of this year, to see yet another delay. I wish I could pull up the list of the dates. It was like November of last year, right? Then it got pushed to June of this year. Then it got pushed to November again. And now it's pushed to Christmas. It's unfortunate, especially for fans of Gal Gadot, for fans of the Wonder Woman character and what she represents. But to be honest, I think the precedent of Mulan and its poor performance internationally, I think it's just showing without like a true box office count, all films are indefinitely, their success who knows how well they can do. So I think with Dune and going into our next topic, actually, Sony has pulled the trigger and decided that they're not going to release any of their tentpole pictures until the theaters open in the US. And we're talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife. We're talking about
wait,
Morbius.
isn't it till a vaccine comes out, they said?
I think there was different reports, but the first one that I saw, it was implying that until theaters reopen.
Okay, I saw one with the vaccine, but anyway, it's going to be those two. Anyway, continue.
But regardless, I mean, the fact that they're putting their feet in the ground here, and it makes me wonder if they're going to set a precedent for other studios, especially with the big films that they have coming up. And of course, that'd be good income for them. But the fact that they're willing to wait this out, I think that's it says a lot. So what do you think, man?
I think that's insane that they want to hold all their movies off in general, because there's also a lot of movies that we don't even know that are already finished and they're just waiting to announce at this point, because that's what every studio does. But right now, all we know is they have them big blockbuster budgets. And the one that has a lot of people confused is Spider-Man 3 next December. Where does that lie? Does that lie on Sony's decision or Marvel's decision? They still haven't come out and said that yet, because that's in a really confusing spot right now. But like you said, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and anything with the Sony title logo on it, Morbius next summer too. If theaters aren't open and if there's not a vaccine by that time, dude, they're going to keep pushing them. And I can see where they're coming from, but there's so many films next year to the point where they're going to have to just release them regardless of what they're going to make. And I know it's a little too early to say now, but I feel like some of these films, you got to look at it this way. They're not going to make a lot of money as much as they would pre-pandemic in the theater right now or even a year from now. I'm saying that down right now. Now, I see it is stuck between a hard place and a rock. You either release it now, get good amount of money on VOD, but not the amount you were expecting, or you wait it out another year and waste some more millions of dollars with more promotion and stuff like that and make just as much or even less and take that risk at that point. You know what I mean, Lo?
Oh, yeah. And, interestingly enough, especially for like rabid MCU Marvel fans, I think the lukewarm reception to Mulan is giving them pause, because I think we don't know the Disney Plus numbers. It's not official yet, but I know it can't be as good as they were hoping. And if Mulan would have hit this out of the park, I think we would have saw Black Widow come home. But now I think the entire MCU is just going to get a full push into next year and beyond. So it's definitely disappointing for Marvel Cinematic Universe fans.
And with the whole Black Widow thing, that's still 50-50 to me, because Disney made $33 million the first weekend on Disney Plus alone, not in theaters, just solely on Disney Plus. Reports said they were happy with that number.
Is that official? The 33 million?
Yeah, that was official.
Because I think there was more numbers from last weekend that they haven't calculated yet. So that's not bad, I guess.
That's not bad. And we have to think, dude, we got 3 months of people having to buy it before it becomes free.
Right.
Through theaters and on Disney Plus. And I guarantee you it won't roll out to other VOD markets until it becomes free on Disney Plus. Are you there, Lo? Oh no, I think Lo lagged out, but this is the best time more than ever to introduce our special guest, everybody. Say what's up, Sonny.
Yo, happy to be here on the first time, hopefully the first of many, if things go well.
Yeah, guys, so we got an awesome guest today. Sonny, also known as High Reviews on Twitter, if you guys have seen him. He's a part of the Movies Matrix squad, and he is a fantastic guy. Give us a little description about yourself, Sonny. Let us know who you are. Let us get that deep connection, man.
I mean, there's not much to say. I'm a huge fan of movies, just like everyone else here, and most likely everyone else who's watching this. I do reviews for Movies Matrix. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, game reviews, any sorts of reviews, and you can find me over there pretty much, yeah.
And guys, get this. So Lowe's on the other side of America, the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and Sonny's right across the pond in the UK. So we're just well spread out through the world right now. But yeah, Sonny, so you listened to our conversation before. Give us some of your thoughts on what you think this whole 2020's kind of canceled movie thing. Warner Brothers delaying all their films indefinitely, kind of, and Sony keeping all their films out of theaters until there's a vaccine and theater opened up nationwide. What do you think about this, man?
I mean, I don't really know what to say. Like, the whole situation is an absolute mess. I mean, no one could have predicted any of this year. So, from a fan's point of view, you only know a small portion of what these studios are going through and the decisions they have to make with every single little thing. And obviously, they are going to do what is best to make them the most money or save them the most money.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that it's not going away anytime soon. So it's just a question of weighing up your options and taking the least bad blow, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. But what do you think about them putting Dune and Wonder Woman a week apart from each other?
I hate it. I hate it. I know December releases do well. Aquaman, top of my head, did really well. December release. Before me, especially on the Christmas Day, is it? Wonder Woman Christmas Day?
Yeah,
or
Christmas
something like that. I tend to, anywhere around Christmas, I'm not in a cinema. I'm visiting friends, family.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of upset because now I have to find a way to watch 2 films in the busiest season,
That's
busiest
if
month.
They both come out. That's if come out.
Yeah, and I mean, I like you said, I'm just every single day you wake up and you're waiting for a delay. Another news, another delay. But hopefully Dune isn't the case.
Yeah,
especially after that trailer.
Chris says, could these studios create their own individual streaming service in order to make money? Honestly, they'd waste more money trying to make that streaming service more than anything. I don't really think they would. What do you think, Sonny?
I don't know, because we had this predicament with, obviously, Mulan didn't do as well as they hoped. But then was it Trolls
World Tour, yeah.
Yeah, did better on VOD than the first one did in the cinemas. So I think, obviously, you can't compare the two, but if they feel like it's going to work, then I suppose they should give it a try. I mean, I've heard stuff that cinemas won't be open till next year, so
all I know is in New York, they're not open, man, and I'm pissed right now because I need to see the New Mutants and Tenet right now, and it's really pissing me off. That's all I'm saying right now. But
I think,
yep.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Go on, Sonny, please, man.
I think what people are forgetting is that it's not just going to be all fine out of nowhere. Even when they start to open, that's going to be another long process of gradually, slowly opening, not getting the full ticket sales. So it's a messy situation for sure.
And the whole thing with Mulan is, I feel like, so they said they were happy with their Disney Plus numbers reaching 33 mil the first weekends exclusively on Disney Plus. That's disregarding the Chinese release and anyone who saw it in the theaters wherever they're open at this time. And they probably could have made more if they weren't going with that. If that whole cancel Mulan thing didn't happen right before the movie released. And honestly, I think if they're happy with their numbers right now, even with everything going on with COVID, straight to Disney Plus and the whole Mulan controversy, I don't see what's stopping them from releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Mulan had the whole boycotting backlash stuff, but I think one of the biggest mistakes was letting the customers, the fans, know that it was going to be available for free in December. I think most people would hear that, and a large majority of them would be more than willing to wait.
Yeah,
I mean, it's $30, right?
Yeah,
it's like
$30,
£20 here or something like that.
Yeah, it's 30 American. Honestly, I don't think it's the biggest ripoff in the world because I share a family account. So my dad watches it in Colorado. My grandmother watches it at her home. I watch it at mine. So, it's all good and stuff like that. But if you're watching this by yourself, don't bother paying.
Yeah.
It's not worth the $30 or 20 pounds.
Yeah.
It's too much in my opinion. But like I said, I had other people to buy it from, or to buy it for, I should say. But yeah, we also got to think the Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision show also just went back to filming. Now, we all know the Falcon and Winter Soldier did not meet its release date because it was supposed to release sometime end of August. We're now in early September, everybody. Shocker. I know, right? Time goes by fast, even when you're doing nothing with your life. But yeah, so they're going back to filming, and WandaVision is supposedly supposed to meet its December deadline, which is insane, I still think. But what do we think that means for the continuity? Because we know Marvel has everything planned out with what releases first, what releases next. And the Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to release. Well, it was supposed to be Black Widow, the Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision. No, yeah, Eternals, then WandaVision. Got that order correct. And now we're not getting the Falcon and Winter Soldier before WandaVision, and Black Widow is not coming out to November, a month before WandaVision comes out, and Eternals not coming out till February. And hell, we don't even know when the Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out. So what do we think this means for the MCU timeline? I'm gonna go to Lowe since he just came back.
It's 2020. We're having technical difficulties out here, especially with the whole video chat thing. You guys know how it is. Anybody that's been on Zoom, anybody that's been on, whatever service you use. But please catch me up to speed, Ryan. What are we talking about here?
So we're talking about what's stopping Disney from releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus. Even though Mulan didn't make the most amount of money, it still made the $33 million the first weekend on Disney Plus that they were happy about, along with the controversy, the hashtag cancel Mulan movement going on. And then we just started talking about what this could mean for if the Black Widow doesn't get released on Disney Plus. What do we think this means for the MCU timeline and order of the films coming out? Because honestly, I don't think they could. I don't want to say recover, but I don't think they could handle another shift in the MCU schedule. But what do you think, Lo, since I just gave you the rundown?
Yeah, no worries. To be honest, I don't think Marvel has anything to lose at this point because of the state of the world. And I feel like in terms of Mulan, not that wasn't highly anticipated, but I think the rabid fan base I was speaking of with the MCU, I think there's enough there to support that people will purchase this. Maybe they shouldn't make the mistake of saying it's going to be free in 3 months and just let people buy it as it comes. I think there's enough of a fan base in Marvel to carry a premium video on demand release, but I can't speak for Marvel, so I can't really say what they will or what they shouldn't or what they can do. But in my opinion, I don't think they have anything to lose. I think it'll be a good experiment to gauge their other releases to see if they can make this work.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. I hope we can see it sooner than later. But it's a really hard time to be a fan of cinema right now, especially the way movies are coming out. So
I hate to be a negative Nelly too, but Black Widow is not going to make anything when it comes out in theaters. If it does, I hate to be the one to say it, but it's not going to make what it was going to make if everything went to plan. Because honestly, I could see Black Widow reaching almost the $1 billion mark, but it's not going to reach that. Even if it releases in theaters anytime soon, hell, even in the next year by now. So I think Disney Plus $30 price tag is the smartest way to go with this. But Sonny, what do you think they'll do with the Black Widow and the whole MCU with COVID?
I think they will wait. I really do. I do think they will wait. I think they know that it's the best way to experience it. I think it would 100% do better than Mulan did. I think with the Black Widow, it's a bit different to Mulan. I feel like fans, even die-hard fans of Mulan, they know they don't have to rush to see this movie. They're not going to go online and see like spoilers everywhere and all their friends talking about it. It's a reboot, but but with Black Widow, with that sort of the whole spoilers and end credit scenes and all this, I think that it would do better. But yeah, I would avoid telling people it's going to be free in a few months because I don't think that's a very good idea, especially when you're asking for $30.
Yeah, especially $30. But before we move on, let's catch up on some comments. Chris says,
Leo? Geekly
does
good.
the MCU getting pushed back mean Fantastic Four X-Men could see them become integrated sooner than expected. No, honestly, with me, I think it's just going to be later at this point. They're just, with everything being pushed back, it just means everything's just going to come later than it probably should have. I don't really have anything to explain about this. What do you think, Sonny?
About introducing the X-Men. Oh, I think that has gone even further back in their plans. Well, for obvious reasons.
I could even say 2025 almost. But that's
Don't
just
quote me on this, but I thought it was already like predetermined. I forgot. I think Feige already mentioned that they are nowhere in the plans for Phase 4.
No.
If anything, we might have gotten a tease, but I don't think they were in the plans for Phase 4 from the get. So
no, I think
No,
fans definitely got ahead of themselves. Fans got ahead of themselves.
And X-Men were Phase 5, they said. And Phase 4 ends in 2021. With the release of Thor: Love and Thunder next November, still apparently, let's just say still right now, because that will probably get pushed back too. And then we also got to think 2022 is when the Phase 5 kicks off, and so X-Men, and stuff like that probably won't come out till 2023, 2024 at the latest, I would think personally. But what do you think, Lo?
Of when we'll possibly see Fantastic Four or X-Men?
Yeah.
At the earliest 2022, but that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, that's very wishful. Honestly, that's a little too wishful.
Yeah, I mean, I would say best bet. I would put money on 23. So
yeah, I would say mid to late 2023 at most. But yeah, let's keep going down the list. Hey fellas, can't stay too long, but knock it out. What's going on, Leo?
Weekly goods.
Chris also says, respect to Lou's t-shirt. Awesome nod to Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, two of the greatest of all time.
Real quick, right?
Do of Bad Nipples and Low. Yeah,
I get the best hand-me-downs from my mom and dad. Love you, mom. Love you, dad. Thank you so much. They give me the best gear. This is all straight like vintage from the 80s, man. So
Leo says, do you guys foresee Marvel having a fandom event in the cards? Honestly, I could see them going either way, because if they have their own fandom event, all eyes on them. But if they even go to Comic-Con again, all eyes on them still. They're always going to be all eyes on. So I could see it either going either way, but they're still going to make the views no matter where they stay. What do you think, Lo?
Oh, 100%. And I think the success of DC fandom shows them that it's possible. And knowing that Marvel already has a step up on them in terms of the films, you know, they're licking their chops at their opportunity to shine the way that DC did. And nothing against DC. They did a wonderful job. But I think Marvel could do just as good, if not better.
Oh, yeah, definitely, with all their projects and stuff. And I think, I don't want to say sloppy, but it was definitely a little bit of a misdirect with changing plans at the last second from a 24-hour event to a 2-day event. Didn't really bother me, but it just seemed kind of odd last second to split them up. I think they realized last minute that, wait a second, this is going to be a lot for 24 hours. But that's just me. What do you think about all this, Sonny?
Yeah, I think they would have definitely been looking at that fandom. I think they would have been looking at the success of it and how much everyone was just surprised by the reveals. And I feel like Marvel would come out and do that times two. You know, they would have years of planning. They would have probably more movies in development around the time they did plan an event. And I think it's something they would look into 100%. But like Lo said, you know, they don't need it. They got, you know, millions of fans, Comic-Con, Disney, all that.
Yeah. I want you guys to think about something real quick. Let's say COVID is finally over, right? And Marvel announces their own fandom event, but it's a live event. How much money do you think they'd make for that? I'm waiting for one of you.
Oh.
I'm not even gonna go off to one. I just want to see who answers first for this one.
A lot. Like going back to what I was saying about not wanting to miss out on Black Widow. I think you know, they had the End Game or the Infinity War. One of the movies came out later in America than international, and they got a lot of stick for it, and they had to push it back because they needed to be worldwide. Everyone had to see this movie at the same time.
I think it was Infinity War. I oddly remember that.
And I think that would be the same with this. Everyone would feel like they had to do it. You know, they wouldn't be able to miss out on something. I think that's why Marvel is so successful at the moment, because you don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah. Lo, what do you think about them having their own live fandom event where people can buy tickets and physically go there like a Comic-Con?
I would say as long as they're not charging an arm and a leg, they'll make a boatload of money. We're talking about a
Yes.
Titanic-sized ship of money. If it was like $5, $10, they'll get 1 million people in there easy, and that's easy money.
So let's shift the conversation away from Marvel a little bit, because we're a bunch of Marvel stans over here for some reason. But I saw a comment from John Williams. Anybody psyched for the Snyder Cut coming out? And if no, I don't know if this is a true leak, but I did see a leak for a release date for the Snyder Cut. I don't know if you guys saw it. I saw it about a few days after Fandom released, or happened, but I don't remember the exact date, so I'm going off on a arm and a leg here. But the supposed release for the first episode, since it's an episodic thing and released every week, the rumors are September 9th of 2021. Sonny, what do you think about this release date, if it's true?
I think that's great. I think it's probably sooner, and like I'm quite surprised that we would get it that soon, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously he's been working a lot behind the scenes, so you have no idea how far through he is. He's probably quite a lot of the way through, I would think. But yeah, I think that would be pretty awesome, and I think a lot of people would be excited to see it as soon as possible.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. But honestly, I'm kind of shocked. I thought it was a bit of a later release than I thought. I was
really?
thinking around March, April because they also announced it in mid-May, like right before HBO Max launched, getting in all the subscribers. And they said all they had to do is visual effects. And I know visual effects are a lot, but I take into account that that's all they need to do, along with the Junkie XL album or soundtrack. And because they're not going for reshoots, they're not doing any of that. They don't have to get costumes. It's all just editing and VFX. So that's why I kind of thought, I'm like, they're working around the clock right now because no one can really do very much. Zack Snyder's always working on it, like he said. So I definitely thought a late to early March, April type release date for that. But you know what? That's fine with me that it's in September. But Lo, what do you think about this release?
I'm excited, and I think it's indicative of the fact that I think the wheels were in motion before HBO Max even dropped.
Oh yeah, they said sorry to cut you off, but the talks happened around November, December last year. Continue.
There you go. And then it makes me wonder. I mean, I'm not sure how much work they were able to do before HBO Max released, but I'm sure there had to have been something, in between that time. But for them to just drop, you said January, right?
No, it's supposed to drop September 9th from the leaks of next year.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a lot of time. That's plenty of time. But it also makes me wonder, like, what's that extra time for? So, yeah, like you said, I think
that's why
you said more like March you were expecting, right? Like first.
Yeah, I was expecting late March, early April for it. Because, like I said, it's just a bunch of visual effects and then the soundtrack by Junkie XL.
I will say this though, like I'm not the biggest Snyder stan. Admittedly, I did like his early work, but I will say I just hope that he puts out the product he wants. He has, after all this drama, after all the controversy, it would be nice to see the product as he wants it. And if it requires that much longer, I think his fans should be happy. Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't realize it was going to be that pushed back that far into next year. So
that's what I said. But before we wrap up the show, guys, let's discuss the whole Sony situation. So Sony has announced, obviously, we said it before, that they're keeping all their big theatrical releases until there's one, a vaccine, and two, all the theaters can reopen. Sonny, what is your take on this? What do you think is going to happen with them doing this?
I think there's gonna have to get to a point where you're just gonna have to do it. Like you're gonna keep on going back and back, and I think that they're just gonna have to get it over with soon. Drop it, take the hits, and every movie is gonna be affected by the same thing. And like I said, it's just hoping that you don't take too much of a loss from it, I guess. But the delays are just going to keep going.
Yeah, go low. I see you're itchy right now.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because before we close out this show, I was gonna say we were talking about what a bummer 2020 is, right? But I feel like we did have some pretty exciting news drop this week. I think it was Wednesday morning around like 9 a.m. Yes?
I can't think of it. You have to remind me now.
Dune! Oh my god.
Oh yeah, the Dune trailer.
Incredible. And this is coming from someone that I'm very new to the material, but I did take the leap and dive into David Lynch's 1984 version that you're gonna hate it or you're gonna like it, or it's very divisive to say, and it does have some rough patches, but I can see what the story could be, and the fact that we got Denis Villeneuve and that incredible cast that we talked about in our trailer reaction. Check that out on this channel. It looks phenomenal. What did you think of the Dune trailer, Sonny?
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, really. I mean, I went into it sort of knowing that I was going to expect that, but at the same time, it was somehow better than I expected it to be, if that makes sense. Like, with this director, you know how I was going to look, that trailer. The visual is going to be incredible, and the acting and the score and all of that, but it just seemed to look even better than incredible somehow. I mean, every single actor looks like they've just brought their A game. It's probably gonna, be the best of their career for some of them. And I watched it back, and I was like, what can I say that's bad about this? Just out of interest, like what can I point out that you can say is bad about this trailer? And I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find a single thing. Seriously, it's a great trailer.
I think we have to ask you
excited.
the ultimate question, though. Are you ready for the ultimate question? Because I know what Lo knows what I'm going to ask. Did you like the Batman trailer more or the Dune trailer more? Because for some reason, that's like the new question for everybody.
The Batman one for me,
Shocker.
purely just because I'm his biggest fan.
Yeah,
the biggest fan of Batman, but the Dune trailer is definitely a close second, and I can't wait to see it.
Definitely, I agree with you, Sonny. I don't want to reinterpret what I said on the almost 40-minute trailer reaction, but yeah, movie looks good. I can't wait. Great cast. It's gonna get pushed back, and so was Wonder Woman 1984. So everyone, get your panties all held up high because those movies are not coming out this year at this point, unfortunately. And if they do, you guys can all smack me. I'll give you the opportunity to smack me. But does anyone have any final thoughts on everything we touched on today? No. But before we close out, why is it not popping up? Why is the comment not there? We go. Oh my God, it just popped up. Loretto, is it true that
love you, Dad.
Get low
That's
is
my
your
partner
thing?
in the podcast. He's messing with me.
Oh my God, dude, I love that. I love that.
Hey, to be honest, though, to answer the question, you'd be surprised how creative people got. I mean, I got Aloha, get it? I got, like you'd be surprised. And the Get Low thing, of course. When that song was big, that's all I heard. So thank you for that, Dives. That sending me back down memory lane.
Wait, Loretto, I want to ask you one question. How low can you go? Okay.
Anyway, with that being said, make sure everyone keep an eye out. We're gonna announce the winner of the Snyder Cut. Hey, hold it up again, right? We got a giveaway at the end of the month. Make sure you like and subscribe to us. Real quick, Sonny, go ahead and let us know where people can find you.
So you can find me at High Reviews, where on Twitter, where I review movies, games, TV shows, literally anything that all us nerds love, at moviesmatrix.com.
And
It's
of
always
course,
a pleasure, Sonny. You're one of our shining members of the awesome Movies Matrix team. You can find me at Marcellus Durden on Twitter. Be sure to subscribe to the Movies Matrix channel down below. Roy.
yo, what's going on? You guys know me. I'm also your other co-host, Ryan, living on the East Coast, helping with the giveaway and stuff like that. But you know what? I know you guys get lazy sometimes. I get lazy too. Type it in our Twitters and stuff like that. But you know what? I made it easy for all you guys. In the description, you got the links for all 3 of our Twitters to come check us out. And I got the link on where you guys can go put in your votes or submissions for the Snyder Cut giveaway. Yeah, guys. Without further ado, I want to personally thank Sonny for coming out for this awesome podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonny. And
Thanks for having me.
I would say good night, but it's like early morning for Sonny. So I just want to give a round of applause for this champ right here.
1 a.m. Yes.
Fucking UK time. Sorry for the bad words, kids. But dude, I got to give you the chance. But have a great night, guys. See you next Sunday. Peace.